Welcome back to the Cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum has seen a major rejection from this important line of resistance. And in just a moment, I'll be discussing the possibility of more bearish price action still to come. And I will be comparing this bull market to the 2017 bull market and so much more later in this video. So definitely stick around all the way to the end so that you're not missing out on any of this important information. And just before we jump into it, make sure to hit the like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. But with all of that out of the way, let's get straight to what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame. And this here was the potential bump and run reversal pattern that I was covering yesterday on the channel. If you watched yesterday's Ethereum video, you will know that we formed the first 2 stages of this 3-stage pattern. But the 3rd stage only plays out if we get above this exact line, which we obviously did not see. And that price level right there wasn't only important due to this line. Once again, if you watched yesterday's Ethereum update video, you would know that that was exactly where the golden pocket was coming into play, which by the way, that is the most important Fibonacci level because that's the Fibonacci level that is most common for the price to turn around at. So this just proves how important it is to pay attention to these Fibonacci levels, as I mentioned yesterday. And now zooming out to the 12-hour time frame for Ethereum, and as I've been mentioning every single day in this correction so far, this recent price action looks extremely similar to the September correction. I've now noticed that a couple other YouTubers out there have caught on to this, but once again, we've been talking about this basically since the start of the correction. But yeah, basically what we could see is of course a correction down to the 38.2% Fibonacci level right here, exactly like what we saw back in September. And after that first initial move to the downside during that September correction, we actually had a sideways consolidation for close to around a week in length. And we had one bounce back to the upside before one more leg to the downside, exactly like what Ethereum has just seen. We've had that bounce back to the upside, and right now Ethereum is potentially forming the final leg to the downside. And what's even more interesting about these two, and once again, I mentioned this yesterday on the channel, bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from this swing high back at September down to that initial low after that first move right there. Where did Ethereum bounce back up to and turn around? Well, that was at the exact golden pocket, which once again, that's exactly what Ethereum has just done here. So what happens next for Ethereum? Well, that sideways consolidation and bounce back to the upside halfway through the September correction brought the RSI further to the upside, giving us a little bit more room to the downside later on. And that's exactly what we've seen just here. The RSI has bounced back to the upside, and now technically we do have a little bit more room to the downside. And this September correction bottomed out at the 120-day simple moving average, which back then was coming in at around 2.7k, give or take, but right now is coming in at just above 3.6k. But keep in mind, every single day the price is above this moving average, it does ascend. So for example, if Ethereum takes another few days to get down towards that moving average, it could be coming in at more like 3.7 to 3.8k. It all really depends on how long Ethereum takes to get to that level. And as well, I also want to mention that it's definitely not guaranteed for Ethereum to make it down towards that moving average, just because we're playing out the correction very similar to the September correction. And just because we experienced this outcome for the September correction, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to experience the exact same outcome again. So just keep that in mind as well. Nothing is guaranteed in these markets. But in regards to my Ethereum strategy right now, the subscribers already know about this strategy because I've been mentioning it pretty much this entire time period right here. Basically, along this 38.2% Fibonacci level right here, I have been slowly dollar cost averaging into Ethereum just on the spot market. And by doing that, if Ethereum ends up performing an early recovery, at least I would have taken advantage of this correction. But because I'm only lightly dollar cost averaging and I'm not going all in at any given price level, if Ethereum does end up playing out that next move to the downside down towards this moving average, I can simply continue to dollar cost average into the market as we go lower, taking advantage of these cheaper prices. And all of this Ethereum that I'm accumulating right now on the spot market, once again, I'm holding for the longer term, as in for at least the next few months. And if you're wondering about long positions, right now I am not looking to enter a long position until Ethereum confirms a bottom for this correction with a bounce from a major support line, for example, and when we start forming some higher lows on the chart, which would be the first sign of a recovery back to the upside. And now zooming out to the daily time frame for Ethereum, the candlesticks right here is the current Ethereum price this year, but then these green bars right here, that is the 2017 price action overlaid onto the 2021 price action. And this is honestly very interesting because you can see up until around October, both the 2017 bull market and the 2021 bull market were playing out so similar, they were almost identical. But then as you can see, as soon as we reached October, that is when the current bull market started diverging away from the 2017 bull market. So this time 4 years ago, Ethereum did not have that major gain to the upside that we just experienced during October. Instead, we just had a huge sideways consolidation pretty much. So even though there's a lot of people out there panicking and thinking that we're going into a bear market and all of that sort of stuff, when you're simply taking a look at the charts and comparing this bull market to the last bull market, we're actually ahead of schedule. And once again, I was letting you know video that's all the way back here, even before we really started this correction, saying that Ethereum was ahead of schedule and that we could be due for a little bit of a pullback here to come and meet the 2017 bull market and then carry on with the bull market later on, possibly into 2022 as this chart suggests. So yes, if you're talking about the smaller timeframes, the short-term price action, we are in a short-term downtrend, but when you're zooming out and looking at the big picture, we're still looking really good here for the bull market. And I thought I should quickly update you on this diamond bottom formation that I have been covering over the past few days on the channel. Of course, we formed that pattern, we broke out to the upside, we retested the breakouts, which then activated this price target to the upside, which was coming in close to 4.7k. But as you can see, Ethereum fell short of that price target, hitting only 4,550, because once again, we ran into that golden pocket, as I mentioned yesterday on the channel. So basically, instead of a potential 11% gain, we only had around an 8, nearly 9% gain. So just a few percent short of the price target. And obviously, this diamond's bottom formation is now invalidated with this recent move to the downside. And now taking a really quick look at the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart on the 4-hour time frame, what we can see is this inverse head and shoulders pattern already formed and already broken out to the upside. But right now, we've actually come back down for a second retest of the neckline. So if Ethereum can hold above that neckline, technically speaking, this price target is still active. This price target only becomes invalidated if either we hit the price target or if we break back below the neckline with confirmation. And I already covered this over the past few days now on the channel, but for the new viewers on the channel, the technical price target for this pattern is coming in at around 0.0786 Bitcoin per Ethereum, which by the way, from the point of the breakout to that price target is around a 6% gain approximately. But from where we are right now at the time of filming this video to that price target is around a 5% gain. But one thing to point out here on the 4-hour charts for Ethereum valued against Bitcoin is the fact that we're playing out a bearish divergence right now. As you can see, we formed higher highs in the price, but lower highs in the RSI. So this means that there's reduced buying pressure in the short term, and we could be due for a little bit more of a sideways consolidation or perhaps a little bit more bearish price action moving forward. So this is really the primary sign on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin 4-hour chart that could potentially stop Ethereum hitting that price target for this inverse head and shoulders pattern. And now zooming out to the daily time frame for Ethereum valued against Bitcoin, right now we are still forming this huge symmetrical triangle pattern, and we've just seen a third touch point along this line of resistance. So this touch point is now confirming this line of resistance and now confirming that this pattern is officially forming, because we've actually got 4 touch points along this line of support and now once again 3 touch points along this line of resistance. Now if Ethereum valued against Bitcoin starts losing some of these importance levels of support in the shorter term and performs a larger rejection from this line of resistance, then it technically becomes possible that we could be due for another move down towards this line of support, which is right now coming in at around 0.062 Bitcoin per Ethereum, which in percentage terms, that would be around a 17% pullback approximately. But keep in mind, that's not against the US dollar, that's against Bitcoin. So for example, if Bitcoin against the US dollar has a 17% gain, in that scenario, that would mean Ethereum against the US dollar would be having a 0% gain. But of course, if we break above this level of resistance, that sets up a major price target to the upside, coming in towards around 0.1 Bitcoin per Ethereum, which obviously is a major move to the upside and extremely bullish for Ethereum if, of course, we can break above this resistance, coming in at around 0.0766 Bitcoin per Ethereum. And if you haven't already, don't forget to follow me over on my Twitter, because over here on my Twitter, you'll get all of these extra real-time updates throughout the day. For example, part of the content in this video was shared over on my Twitter 6 hours ago in the form of this update tweet, basically saying that Ethereum got rejected from the golden pocket and that we're playing out very similar price action to the September correction. So if you want to stay up to date in the crypto markets at all times, make sure you follow me over on my Twitter, and the link to my official Twitter account is in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. And if you enjoyed or got something valuable out of this video, make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. And before we click off, make sure you're checking out one of these uploads if you haven't already, because these videos can potentially help you make more money in the crypto markets. And as always, I really do appreciate all of your support in the channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. But anyway, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.